There's a photograph I keep on my desk. It's not of a car. It's not of a house. It's a bucket with a hole in it. Somebody sent it to me years ago as a joke. Back when I had one income and a stack of bills that arrived faster than the paycheck that was supposed to cover them. I didn't laugh. I stared at it for a long time because that bucket was my life. You can pour everything you have into a bucket with a hole in it. Your time, your energy, your 20s, and it will never fill. Not because you're not working hard enough. Because a single stream can only fight so many leaks before it runs dry. The wealthy figured something out that changed the shape of that bucket entirely. They stopped pouring harder into one hole. They started drilling new inlets. Today, I'll show you exactly how they did it. The order, the discipline, and the thinking most people never get taught. Let's start with the uncomfortable math. If you have one income source, you don't actually have a financial plan. You have a hope. A hope that your health holds, that your employer stays solvent, that the market for your specific skill doesn't shift beneath you. The behavioral economist Daniel Kahneman spent his career studying how people misjudge risk, and one of his sharpest findings applies directly here. Humans consistently underestimate the odds of losing what they already have, because loss doesn't feel real until it happens. That's why so many people never build a second stream. Not because they can't, because until the first one breaks, it doesn't feel necessary. The wealthy don't wait for the break. They build the second stream while the first one is still working perfectly, because insurance you buy after the fire doesn't save the house. Here's the trap hiding inside comfort. A steady paycheck feels like safety. It has a name, a routine, a number that hits your account on the same day every month. So the brain relaxes. It stops scanning for the next move. But steady is not the same as secure. Steady just means the collapse hasn't happened yet. The financial writer Morgan Housel has spent years studying the psychology behind wealth. Not the spreadsheets, the behavior. And one of his central observations cuts deep. People don't build wealth through genius. They build it through behavior sustained over time. Patience, restraint, and the willingness to do boring things for long enough that they stop looking boring and start looking like freedom. Building a second income stream while the first is still comfortable is one of the most boring, unglamorous decisions a person can make. It's also one of the only ones that actually works. Nobody builds a second stream out of thin air. They build it out of something they already have and have been giving away for free. A skill, an insight, a piece of expertise they've stopped noticing because it's become invisible to them. This is the blind spot. The thing you find easy is usually the thing someone else would pay for. But because it's easy for you, you assume it's easy for everyone. It isn't. The second stream almost never requires new skills. It requires new packaging, taking what you already know and putting a price tag on it for the first time. Once there's a second stream feeding cash back in, the wealthy make a move most people skip entirely. They convert active income into an asset that keeps producing without them. This is where ownership enters. Real estate. A stake in a business. A piece of something that generates cash flow whether or not you show up to work that day. The investor Benjamin Graham, the man who literally taught Warren Buffett how to think about markets, built his entire philosophy on one distinction. The difference between a speculator who's betting on price movement and an investor who's buying a stream of future cash flow at a fair price. That distinction is the hinge point of Stream 3. You're not trying to get rich quick off an asset. You're trying to own something that quietly pays you for decades. Here's where the math stops being additive and starts being exponential. Every stream so far has still required you, your time, your decisions, your presence. Stream 4 removes that constraint. This is the stream built on other people's labor, other people's capital, or systems that run without your daily involvement. The economist and philosopher Adam Smith wrote about this over 2 centuries ago. The idea that specialization and division of labor multiply output far beyond what any single person could produce alone. Wealthy people apply that same principle to their personal finances. They stop being the entire operation and start being the architect of one. Hiring, delegating, building teams and systems that produce more collective output than they ever could working alone at full capacity. This is the stream that scales. This is the one that turns 4 income sources into something that starts to compound on itself. Now here's what almost nobody tells you. It's not the number of income streams that makes someone wealthy, it's the sequence in which they were built. Stream 1 funds Stream 2, Stream 2 funds Stream 3, Stream 3 funds Stream 4. Skip the order, try to build Stream 4 before Stream 1 is stable, and the whole structure collapses under its own weight because there's no foundation feeding it. This is why get-rich-quick schemes fail so consistently. They try to install Stream 4, leverage other people's labor, onto a foundation that was never poured. You can't multiply 0. Go back to that bucket, the one with the hole in it. Here's what I understand now that I didn't understand then. The hole was never the problem. Everyone has a leak somewhere. An expense, a bad month, a plan that didn't pan out. The problem was that I only had one source pouring in. One leak was enough to empty me completely. The wealthy don't have fewer problems than you, they don't have fewer leaks. They just built enough inlets that no single leak can drain them dry. You already have your first stream, even if it doesn't feel like much yet. The only question that matters now is whether you're going to spend the next year pouring harder into the same hole, or whether you're finally going to drill the second inlet. Start where you are. Use what you already know. Let it fund the next one. That's not a hack. That's not luck. That's the only pattern that has ever actually built lasting wealth. One deliberate stream at a time. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, don't forget to subscribe now, like and share the video, and drop a comment below. See you in the next one.